Hi there! I was creating a tutorial about beautiful chord shapes that entail the common and uncommon chord extensions to create some awesome and sometimes ambiguous sounds. But then I was thinking, shouldn't I do a short recap of the basic and advanced understanding of the chord extensions and their common shapes on the guitar first? Well, the answer lies in this video. And even if you are familiar with the chord extensions, you might pick up a thing or two. Well, in the first video, I'll take you through all the chord theory of triads and their shapes on the guitar in chord form and arpeggio form. We will see the structure and the function of the specific triads regarding functional harmony. So let's take off with the structure of this lesson. Now, the first thing we're going to do is to look at the triads and find out how they are built. And after this, we'll look at 4 variations of the triad in common tertian harmony. Then it's time to look at the 4 cornerstone scales and how triads occur in these scales. And when all said and done, I'll show you some arpeggios to get you started. So, let's start with the basic knowledge of the triad chords. Now, we have to understand that chords in the traditional tertian harmony are constructed by stacking major and minor thirds. In contrast to tertian harmony, there's also quartal and quintal harmony, where chords are constructed by respectively fourths and fifths. All examples in this video are made within the tertian harmony tradition, which is the most common musical system, although quartal and quintal chords are beautiful to experiment with. But we do that in one of the next tutorials. So the 3 notes that make up the triad are the root, the third, the fifth of the scale. The root is the constant value, while the variations of the third, fifth, or both third and fifth provide the 4 chord types that exist in a simple triad chord format. When stacking a major third and a minor third on top of each other, the distance between the root and the major third is 2 whole steps, which is 4 semitones. The distance between the root and the fifth is exactly 3½ step interval, 7 semitones. The chord will sound happy because of the major third, and we speak of a major sounding chord like C major, D major, E major, and so on. Now let's do this the other way around and stack a minor third and a major third on top of each other, and creating only 1½ step interval between the root and the third. It's now a minor third. This evokes a sad sounding chord. We call this a minor chord, like C minor, D minor, E minor, and so on. In both major and minor triads, the distance between the root and the fifth is exactly a 3½ step interval. Well, this is called a perfect fifth. Now, when we stack 2 major thirds on top of each other, we'll end up with a major sounding chord, because the distance between the root and the third is 2 whole steps. It's a major third. Now, because we stacked 2 major thirds, the distance between the root and the fifth is now 4 whole steps instead of 3½ step, like we've just seen with the major and minor triads. This creates a so-called augmented fifth interval instead of a perfect fifth interval. And for this we have created a so-called augmented chord, a major chord with an augmented fifth. After stacking a minor and a major third, a major and a minor third, and 2 major thirds, we are now going to stack 2 minor thirds. By now you understand that we speak of a minor chord because of the minor third interval between the root and the third. Only now the distance between the root and the fifth is 3 whole steps instead of the 3½ step, like we've seen with the major and minor triad. Well, this creates a so-called diminished fifth interval between the root and the fifth. We have to call this triad, consisting of 2 minor third intervals, a diminished triad or a diminished chord. So there are no less than 4 triad variations, which we can use to build extended chords in the next video. The major triad, a major third, and the minor third, the minor triad, a minor third and a major third, the augmented triad, 2 major thirds, and a diminished triad, 2 minor thirds. Well, you can imagine that the possibilities to create chord extensions with the 7th, 9th, 11th and 13th are comprehensive. To see how these triads occur in the 4 cornerstone scales, the major scale, the minor scale, the harmonic minor scale and the melodic minor scale, I have put all these together in this graphic. And as you can see, only in the minor scale the 5th degree is minor. And another thing you could discover is the double diminished chord at the end of the melodic minor scale. And if we take a good look at the harmonic minor scale and the melodic minor scale, we see that only in these 2 scales the augmented chord occurs. Now, to improvise with merely simple triads, use the triad arpeggios. Now, I already made a tutorial about playing triad arpeggios in advanced scenarios. So, have a look at that tutorial when you're done with this one. Here are 4 triad arpeggios so you can start practicing. So for the ones that were already familiar with the basic chord theory, this video can be considered as a short recap of the things you already knew. But for everybody else, I hope this video made sense and got you started with the understanding of how chords are built. Well, in the next video we're going to take things a step further by looking at the 7th, the 9th, the 11th and 13th chords. And after that I'll teach you some awesome sounding shapes with extensions, and we'll see how to implement them to establish a modal feel. So, bye bye for now, greets from the Netherlands, and I see you next time in a QGen Tracks video.